Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Lamos here, and today I have another cringy Garfield shirt. Just get a look at it, get it out of the way. I know, it's cringe. It's not the most appealing thing to look at, aside from my face in this video. But, we are going to be doing another review. I am going insane. I have reviewed, for the past 9 videos, Goosebumps The Vanishing, all 8 episodes in the show as a whole, and I'm finally ready to cut back into some other reviews and talk about, starting off with, an IDW comic, Download and Die, easily the second most popular one, next to Monsters at Midnight, which we'll be touching upon soon, in the next month, presumably, if my plan goes according to well planned. So yeah. This is a very interesting book because it actually has a lesbian character. Yeah. And openly lesbian too. Heavy lesbian themes in this book. But, where do I land on it? Let's find out. And now, for the blurb, the first IDW comic blurb I'm doing on this channel. Ooh, finally touching this little series! The kid-friendly horror series returns with all new stories. The terrifying world of R.L. Stine is just a click away. Ooh, because the Download and Die. Oh, when Mitra and her two besties, find a phone with the latest and greatest technology and apps, they think they are dreaming, but when they push, notifications come to shove. What? I don't know what the fuck it just said there. They might be in a living nightmare. Ooh, with the phone turning them against each other. Wow. Can Mitra do a hard reset before it's too late? It's aight. Actually, it's a little less than aight. It's kind of middling. This isn't the best book I've ever read, right? No shit. I think the best IDW comic of the 3 I've read, because I have yet to read the 4th one. I actually just ordered it so I can eventually review these all and do a comic book ranking. Because I'm not going to do an IDW ranking, I'll be doing a comic ranking for everything. Because, it's just easier. But, IDW, this is easily one of the weaker of the 3 I've read. The best probably being Monsters at Midnight, but I'll get to that in my review for that. But yeah, Download and Die. It's not very good, but it has some things I really do like about it. Starting off with the art style of this book, I think it's decent. There are some times when I read IDW, not really IDW, honestly. All of them have been consistently good in art style, but, other Goosebumps comics, and it's just like, ooh, that looks like dog shit. Oh, I'm never reading that one again. Not that I really want to touch these again. Besides maybe like the Ghost Beach comic, but we'll get to that whenever we get to the book it's in. This is decent. It has a decent art style behind it, so it is appealing to the eye. Unless you're like anti-woke or something, which I'm not. That's not going to be an issue in my review that there's a lesbian character. But it is notable, and I'll bring it up now. Lesbian character. It's semi an upside because it does bring a flaw, which is that it focuses on that aspect weirdly often. Which is like, you have like 70 pages. Stop. But nonetheless, I think this is an interesting inclusion here, and I believe this is the first time Goosebumps has ever gone woke. Monsters at Midnight came out before this, but there was no gay character. I know Michael, Goosebumps fans' review on Goodreads says there is. there isn't. It's actually a sister. So, unless rubbing incest, no, that's not a gay character. Or at least confirmed at all. But this is a gay character right here. They're gay. Lesbian, because it's actually a girl. I didn't know that for years until I finally was able to get the full story, because I only had to issue 1 for a long time. You couldn't finish it. Yeah. This is a girl right away. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's interesting to see a woke character in a Goosebumps book, and I don't mind it at all. Aside from the fact that it kind of is jarring when it comes to how it's implemented, because it's pretty open about that. In a way, it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. But we'll get to that in a minute. Overall, the story is enjoyable. Decent art style, like I said. And I like how collabby it feels, but even though it kind of is an issue, it's kind of fun. It's an experimental story here. It seems like they wanted to bring Goosebumps monsters together into one universe. And this is actually almost undeniably in the same universe as Monsters at Midnight, if not a very similar universe, because we have a duo in here that reoccurs, Slappy and Curly. Curly saying pretty much nothing. Because yes, Curly's in this book, and so are the Creeps and Sybil Wicked, of all characters, from the GYG Welcome to the Wicked Max Museum. I don't know what the fuck was going on here, but sure. It's a seizure. It's a fever dream. Did I even mention Keith, my boy, one of my all-time favorite villains, is in here. And he has a really good twist ending attached to him, so I actually really like the ending of this book. As well as the climax. The climax is pretty decent, and I like the way they defeat Slappy. It's kind of cool. It gets crushed by bleachers, so pretty cool. A little out there, unexpected, but that's what happens, and I think that is pretty sick. As well as the concept behind this book with this phone vet equal no good. We kind of saw that with Emmy, only of course this one's not alive, but it equal no good, if you know what I mean. So yeah, good story. Actually quite enjoyed it in some regards, but I have some issues. I am so unbelievably anti-woke that I cannot fathom a character being interested in the same gender, or maybe no gender at all, or maybe both genders like me, or really anything other than just the straight up opposite gender. I am so anti-woke. This book gets a 0 out of 10. Lesbians are gross, is what I would have said if I was smoking weed. But I do have an issue with it. And not with lesbians. It's because it's so fucking abruptly shown in the plot. It's kind of distracting. And I don't mean like, oh, it's a lesbian. That's all I'm thinking about when I'm reading the story now. It's literally all there is half the time. It's either a girl is falling in love with another girl and trying to get with her, or shenanigans involving monsters. And straight back to getting with a girl. Girl getting with a girl. It's just like, why is that half the plot? You have like 70 fucking pages, man. 90. I don't know how long this book is. I didn't check going in. For fuck's sakes. Why? Why? You don't have a lot of time to really flesh that out. If you're doing a novel, right, 120-page Goosebumps story, I'm fine with that if you throw it in there. That's not really common. I'm going to be absolutely okay with it in the new Goosebumps novel coming out in February. I already know it's going to be in there because it's a direct adaptation. There's a woke character in that show. It's going to be fine. It's like 200-something pages. I'm expecting love plots. I'm expecting drama for a book that long. I'm expecting relationships and character growth. But for a book that's like 90 pages, let alone it's a comic book this thin, don't try and shove things in it that don't need to be there and only take up more people's time than they want. That's one of the biggest attributes to Monsters at Midnight. That one understood the assignment, and whilst it tried to shove something in there, I appreciate it for that, because at least it was done really well. And I'm not saying it's a bad plot line. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to want to do this. It's just, for the page count, you were trying to shove too much into something. You were inflating it. It took up about 30 pages of this. You can make a whole comic, I feel, about filler and that alone. It's kind of like too much. There's a bit too much in there. If this was a TV show, sure. If this was a bigger novel, sure. But let's focus on what people are here to see, instead of a okay love plot that really does not need to be there. I mean, nothing needs to have love plots, but that's why shows are interesting. That's why we watch the TV shows we like. This is not a TV show. This is a 90, 80 page manga at this fucking rate. Graphic novel. About monsters. Let alone you're shoving 8 monsters from Goosebumps books in here. Like, you can see 3 creeps on the cover art. There's Curly, Sybil, Wicked, Keith, and of course your boy Slappy. The whole fuck ton of monsters there. Focus on them a little. If you're gonna flesh anything out at all, do them. So sorry. Ramble session out of the way. It's just really weird that they were trying to do so much with this. And I really think it's a stupid idea. If I was given a book to write and it'd only be 90 pages, no matter how fucking big them pages are, I don't care if each one's like worth a Goosebumps book. I mean, I probably would do something with it then. I would actually not do that. It's a bad idea. Keep it vague. Keep it very vague. And here, it's a little less than vague. Download and Die has some issues there. Another thing I want to bring up was actually the monsters. Why are there like 6, 7 different monsters in this book? Why? It's so unnecessary. And I get it. It pleases my Goosebumps heart to see these monsters again. These monsters that'll never appear. once more. The creeps. Curly in a book. I mean, it was already Monsters at Midnight, but still, it's cool. Slappy, ya boy. Sybil Wicked. You will never see her again. There's no denying it. Keith. Probably not. He's from an unpopular book for casual fans. Aside from it's being rare. It's just like, you're trying to shove all that, a love plot between two lesbians, and filler, and more stuff, evil sort of phone, into this. 90 pages, less than, maybe a little more than, I don't know. You're fucking high. So that's all I'm going to say. It's not bad, but it just really suffers from overcrowding. Let's get to my rating. I give this book a 6.5 out of 10. I don't want to dunk on the author, whoever wrote the story behind this book, but I really wish, they, got to know what their page count was supposed to be, what they were supposed to be aiming for. Unless they did, and they just smoked a lot of weed and forgot, and then had to wrap it up quickly, or re-summarize it all in 90 pages. Yeah, it's not amazing. I think it does not handle it all well. I think it's a little bit overcrowded. But if you have a good time, good. It's not a bad, novel. And I honestly think the IDW comics, from what I've read, are actually overhated. Monsters at Midnight, really good, honestly. Horrors of Witch House is the worst, but this isn't bad. It's a 6.5. It's not very good, or even good at all. It's just like, it's not worth checking out. I lightly recommend it if you're interested. It is a, quick read. You can read it in less than, maybe 50 minutes. Not an hour. Sure, I can assure you that. You can finish it before an hour. Yeah. It's good. But not very good. Or even a 7 out of 10 good. Check it out. But, it's not a strong recommendation for me. All heart to the offer if you were high or something. Because, goddamn, a little too much there. Sorry, I've been repeating a lot of that. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, tell me what you think of Download and Die down below. Nice title. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.